Blarney Castle by Letitia Elizabeth Landon. Although Mr. Crofton Croker has devoted no less than 18 quarto pages of research to the history of Blarney Castle, and has minutely told us how its lord, Clancarty, lost his property, how his ring was fished up, and where his plate may be found, he has nevertheless left the precise meaning of the word Blarney unexplained. Those who are curious on the subject of its extended use may consult Saul's Abyssinia. I shall only attempt, by illustration, to show the accordance of what in England has long been termed a French compliment, with our notion of Irish Blarney, as it is impossible better to illustrate Blarney Castle than by compositions which embody its very spirit. Voltaire's Impromptu to a lady who wished him yet another 80 years of life. Lady, it is a selfish boon, the life your prayer would give, the fain to keep what is our own, we wish our slaves to live. Marmontel's Impromptu to Madame de Stael on his giving her a pen which she had dropped. Love dropped his feather at your feet, what time, his wandering's hour, he trusted you to clip his wings and wished to rove no more. Marie Antoinette, finding a lady of her court writing to M. le Président Rousseau, added a few lines with her own hand, which called forth the following: Who traced these words, where loveliness has stamped its own divine impress? Dare I imagine who? It were ungrateful not to guess, too daring if I do. Shakespeare showed his usual judgment in putting the well-known exclamation, What's in a name? Into the mouth of a young lady in love, who may very well be supposed not to know what she was talking about. And if a castle is to have such a name, it must be content to abide by its associations. The tea-table was the last resource of these little attentions, but the bubbling urn's dismal has carried with it that once common flattery of, Pray, miss, look in the cup, and then it won't want sugar. Alas, our grandmothers were better off than we are. When an art reaches its perfection, it must decline, and certainly the French carried the delicate science of Blarney to its perfection. To quote two instances, Madame Helvetius reproached Fontenelle that he passed her without even looking at her by saying, Comment, monsieur, bientôt me passar sans me regarder. Si je vous savoir regarde, j'ai une rose de passar, was the gallant reply. Madame de Stael asked Talleyrand, while they were engaged in a game then much in vogue, which supposed that out of two in a sinking boat you were to save one, which you would save, Madame de R. or her. There was not a little jealousy between the ladies. Still, Talleyrand named Madame de R., but instantly smoothed matters by saying to Madame de Stael, Ah, madame, l'assistance est ce qu'on osait vous offrir. Such was the ingenious extrication of the diplomatist. A rich strain of flattery pervaded our elder poets. A lover bids his lady unveil in the following imagery. As some fat tulip by a storm oppressed shrinks up and folds its silken arms to rest, yes, from within the winds sing round its head. So shrouded up, your beauty disappears. Unveil, my love, and lay aside your fears. Again a young sea-captain entreats his fair incognita to tell her name, that he may call upon it in a storm and save some ship from perishing. Or Caro's painted words to his mistress beginning, Ask we no more than June bestows, when June is past the fading, for in your beauty's orient deep those flowers as in their courses sleep. Or take the immortal wreath a dramatist offered his mistress. I send thee late a rosy wreath, not so much honouring we, as giving it a hope that there it could not wither be. But thou thereon didst only breath, and send it back to me, since when it grows and smiles as were not of itself but we. One more of Caro's on the side of a gentlewoman's face in the water. Stand still, you floods, do not efface the image which you bear, so votaries from every place shall altars to your rear. Enough of illustrations of the subtle art which has given the castle its name. Still I must add the charade of foxes addressed to the Duchess of Devonshire. Myself is my first, in a very short word, and I am the second, and you are my third. The word is idle. I will conclude with the latest specimen of the kind I have seen. It is extracted from the album of a young lady. Miss, in your nose an epigram's discerned. 'Tis pretty, short, and elegantly turned.